as a missionary, um, there weren't too many exciting places to go see where we were at, um, either from leaving your area or something. I'm trying to think of what we did on our P days, our preparation days. Most of the time, or the best memories I have is when I was in the mission office for 6 months. Our mission president, I was there for my first 3 months was with my first mission president, and the next were with my second mission president. But the first mission president, he had some children with him, so we were allowed to take his car and go anywhere we wanted to on preparation day as long as his kids were with us. But we had to study first in the mornings, and we had to be back in time to do our shopping and to write our families, and then be working by 6 p.m. So obviously we're not going to take a 4-hour drive to the coast or anything. But during those times, the most fun we had was actually going to parks. We did so many things with our family. Most of it was in parks. A fun thing that lots of missionaries will do, at least at the start of the mission, and it depends on where you're at, what areas. If you're in a totally city-locked area, it's not going to be possible. But for either district-wide or sometimes zone-wide, we would go waterfall hunting, where we would go. Most areas, and especially all districts and zones in the area, have go up against mountainous areas, and we would sometimes go out as a zone or just a district, and locals would say, "Oh yeah, if you follow this trail up, a couple miles, there's a really cool waterfall." We'd be like, "Awesome, let's go!" And we'd have our hiking boots, and make sure you wear long pants when you're hiking up there, and go. Sometimes we found awesome waterfalls. Sometimes we hiked for a few hours and didn't find anything, and just had fun being together. But a lot of the cool stuff to do as a missionary is outdoors. Let's see, soccer. That's another big thing you do. Play lots and lots of soccer. However, as a tourist, now my family came and picked me up, and we did a lot of touristy things, and I've been back multiple times. There are many things to do. Costa Rica has a lot of active volcanoes. So within the Central Valley, which is where the main international airport is, you have access to, I think, 2 or 3 volcanoes that make some of the mountains in that bowl that the valley is in. One of them, it's called the Irasu volcano, Volcan Irasu. I don't think it's actively exploded or anything for many years. But it does steam a lot, and it has like some acidic lake or something at the bottom. But it's a very big national park, so you drive way high up in the mountains, and you get up there, and it can be 15-20 degrees cooler than it is down in the valley. But you drive up there, and if the clouds part, you'll get an excellent view down into the crater of this. And it's a national park, so you've got the little binocular things and the big platforms to stand up and look into. That's an excellent thing to go to. There's another volcano a few hours, 3-4 hours away from the main valley, that's one of the most active in the Western Hemisphere. I've been there a few times, and every time I'm there, you can see it explode. You can hear it rumble, the ground shakes, and you can see it for miles and miles around. It's the classic cone in the midst of flat. That's absolutely gorgeous. Going along with touristy things, obviously the beaches. You hear about Costa Rican beaches, the western coast, which unfortunately is pretty far from the main airport, the international airport. So you're going to be looking at anywhere from a 3 to 4 hour drive to 6, 7, 8 hour drive to get to some of those really nice beaches. But around some of those, there's actually a park. It's called Manuel Antonio National Park, near the city of Quepos. And it's just this beautiful gem in the middle of Costa Rica, which itself is gorgeous. But it has an extremely large array of different wildlife that are just naturally there. Different kinds of sloths. They've got monkeys everywhere. They have iguanas, lizards, some raccoon-looking things. Not only is that awesome, but the area is beautiful. It's one of the largest tourist attractions there. They happen to have it's a beautiful beach with the heavy jungle coming up over the sand and stuff. But they have this isthmus that goes out to an island, and that's called the Punta Catedral, the Cathedral Point, and it's probably 50 yards wide. This thin strip of, I guess, used to be sand, but it's covered up in jungle. So you're walking in the jungle, and you hear the waves, and you see the ocean on the right and the left outside of it, and then you come up and it's this, it's not a very large island, but it goes very tall, and it's just full of wildlife and green, and it's a surreal experience, and with the sapphire blue water on both sides, and it's absolutely gorgeous. That's a huge hit for people to go see. Let's see, the surfing I've heard is very good in the northwestern part of Costa Rica. I don't surf, and as a missionary, I never got in the water, so I wouldn't know too much of that. But if you're also looking for more Gardenier arts things, they have in the main city a beautiful garden. Oh, what was it called? I can't remember. My family went there right before they picked me up, but they really enjoyed it. Large gardens, and they have a very good opera house in there. If you want to see an opera or watch some kind of classical music show, they've got a very good showing for that too. But most of what you'll see in Costa Rica is either reserves, animal reserves, or national parks, the volcanoes, things that you would go to tropical places to see.